Welcome, everybody, to March 25th, Jefferson County Board of Tourism. I'd call this meeting to order. I'd like to stand, remove your hats if you would. Say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So is that all right?
No, I just.
Basic matter.
Yes, I'd sit in. Welcome, everybody. This is a fun board to be a part of. This is an exciting night. Like to start out with approval of February 19th minutes. Wendy sent those to us late morning. We have a motion.
I'll move that we approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right. Let's move on for why everybody's here tonight. Partnerships and projects, grant cycle results. Before I start, a couple things. One is, before we start, I'm sorry, I'd like for Dave to kind of reiterate what you need to do and how to receive the money.
So, the county has taken steps forward. I know BMI is aware of it from your guys, right? It's, direct deposit. So, I don't know if I've got everyone else's information or if you want to do it that way, but that'll make sure you don't rely on me getting to the courthouse to pick up the checks, which is always a good thing. So, but I will need an invoice for the amount that you're awarded. If you want to provide the information, or you give me a phone number and I can have, Kristen or Heather in the auditor's office get a hold of you and get it set up so it's direct deposit. Once again, it just precludes me from picking up the checks or having them sit there for weeks and then realizing that I need to stop by and pick them up. But yeah, so an invoice for the amount, and if anything, just a mailing address. We can do checks if you want, or like I said, I'll give you the contact information for the auditor's office and you can get it set up so it's direct deposit. So.
Anybody have any questions regarding that? Jim, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Jim would like to say some complimentary words.
Yes, before we start handing out the awards, I wanted to make a point of congratulating every group that is represented here. All of these projects are good projects, and I'm absolutely impressed by the number of people in our community that are represented by these projects, the number of folks largely volunteer driven that are involved in making tourism in Jefferson County and Madison work. It's just absolutely amazing. And if you look at those numbers, I think you'll agree that puts Madison as one of the top volunteer communities in the nation on a per capita basis. So once again, everybody here, regardless of the results of these grants, everybody here is doing good work, and absolutely want to congratulate each and every one of you for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Jim. Just so everybody knows, Jim's on the call and Wendy's on the call. I wanted to kind of set the stage a little bit. We're given an impossible task, right? Like, we want to just say yes, like, because we're all in this together, you know. We can't do that. So we have to create railings, right? And those railings in 2 years, in a year, in 3 years, they'll change because we'll all change. And we had those conversations like, what applies to us now? What do we want to see now, right? You know, we talked about capital improvements. We talked about infrastructure. We talked about visitor experience. We talked about big grand ideas, big marketing, big, you know, bigger. We deserve that. for those that don't receive what you asked for, we're not poo-pooing on that application or anything. Like, I would, if I'm sitting over there, I would want to know the game. Like, tell me the game. Don't just, we definitely didn't want to do this and say, well, 60% of everybody will just give everybody. That's crap. Like, how do you learn from that? You know? And if I'm you all, then I'm applying for 100 grand next time, and will at least give me 60% of it. You know, I mean, there's no railings, there's no box. Each board will change. Each board will adapt and adopt a new philosophy, right? But we wanted, for this group, we had good conversations, and they were tough conversations. They really were. So thank you for applying. I can tell you right out of the gate, we will be giving $293,500 this go around. We have a budget of $350 for the year. And we were asked over $500,000. That's a lot. And good job for applying. Let's just get right to it. Tourism is debatable. You can debate damn near anything with tourism. I'm figuring out. Why we gave one to somebody and not to another can all be debated. But this is what's important to us right now. Anybody have anything else to add to that? Okay. Let's go right down the list. Mad Hop, awesome application. You asked a big ask, $65,500. We gave you 20 last year. We decided to bump it up 20%. We're giving you 24,000. We want to see, we love the 12,000 to NPR. That's big thinking. We love that. We love the idea of buskers. We'd like for you to push buskers a little more. You guys are a startup, and I think it's awesome. You guys are going to continue to grow and get better. Good job. Chautauqua asked for 31.8. They got 25 from us last year. We decided this year to give $10,000 to Chautauqua. Jefferson County Historic Society asked for 43,000. Last year we gave 35,200. We decided to give 35,000 this year, with the caveat that we would like for you to be open on Saturdays, and then take a look at Lanier Mansion and Historic Madison Inc. when they're closed during the week. Try to offset that so the visitor experience isn't everything's closed on that Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Riverfest asked for 25,000. We gave 25,000 last year. This year we're going to give $10,000. 5 to the 5 asked for 30,000. We gave 10,000 last year. We're going to give 10,000 this year, and we would highly encourage them to take a look at partnering with Regatta. MAAA asked for 70,000. Last year we gave 68. This year we're going to give 50,000. We would encourage MAAA to connect with Southwestern and connect with their arts department. And we'd encourage you guys to speak to us about the 50,000 that you used before August. Looking at M3 asked for 70,500. Last year we gave 70,500. This year we're going to award $50,000. We love the buskers, and we encourage you guys to come back and speak to us before August.
Thanks.
We love that what you're doing with buskers in Madison, Indiana, Music City. It's bold. It's different. It's big. It's bold. Jefferson County deserves that. City of Madison, we looked at a visitor experience, 25,000. For Dora, we're going to grant 25,000. Nights Before Christmas asked for 15,000. We gave 15,000 last year. Jess made a good point. It encompasses the idea of JCTA with 5 different organizations. We're going to grant $15,000 with the caveat that we would like for you guys to start moving towards digital. ICEA asked for 6,000. We're going to give 5,000. Madison Rodeo asked for 50. We gave 35 last year. We love the bold statement of sustainability over the next couple years. Because they said they were gonna not utilize us after next year, we're gonna grant them 40,000. We would encourage them to push for more Airbnbs and hotels. And we really like the US marketing that they've hit. The preservation asked for $10,000. We're gonna grant $10,000. Wi-Fi, we're excited about this one. This was in our no-brainer. They asked for 5,700 to 8,500. We're gonna grant 8,500. You check it out, like a library card at, VMI. It's gonna help Chautauqua, it's gonna help Riverfest, it's gonna help Regatta, it's gonna help Mad Hop, it's gonna help, different, festivals that are here in Jefferson County. It's needed. We're buying the equipment and the labor to implement it. Usually is around $500 to $1,000, which you'll get all that information from VMI when you check it out. I think you use Jake Stewart and Eric Otten. I'm not saying it's a long-term solution, but it's a pretty waterproof Band-Aid for right now. Comfort Station, we think there's a lot of moving parts right now. We're gonna table it. Anadinus asked for $3,000. We're gonna give $1,000, and we like to get the gentleman's information, because I think there's gonna be some private donations. We believe in veterans, obviously, and their mental health. We'd like to help with that gap. Madtix, we think you're an amazing entrepreneur. We appreciate everything you're doing in the community. We just couldn't wrap our mind around that right now at this grant cycle. We're not gonna award anything tonight, but we thank you for being in Jefferson County. Guys, these were tough decisions. And we had a lot of discussion, but I hope those explanations, at least give you some comfort, if you weren't granted everything. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to. That's the end of that show. We'll just carry on business as usual. Anybody have anything to add?
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, a lot of work and thought went into that.
We put it right in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Some of us aren't leaving.
I guess that was pretty self-made. I'm not gonna lie to you, so that's why.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trevor, do you need who's present for Wendy's minute? Or do you already get the, for who's here?
Yes.
We're all day.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, all right. Is that a little 80s?
Yeah.
Go ahead, good.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, Matt moving. It's a shoulder. Well, moving on. Dave, we just dropped 300,000. We got any money left?
Well, for the year,
No, it's all good about there. See you later.
But I mean, with all that and the way we have the budget set up, I mean, if we, for the rest of the year, made only
Andrews, he'll get a kick in his neck in 5 minutes. And so will Kim. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
No. So I mean, to all that we've budgeted for the year and doing that, which there's still more remaining in the community outreach. I mean, we'd only have to make 150,000 in innkeeper's tax for the rest of the year to be at zero. We don't want to be at zero, but we will easily get there and fulfill the obligations we set forth in the budget and plus providing other funds in the fall cycle. So Okay, so for the month of February, the innkeeper's tax was $35,668.70. A little below last year, but last year was a pretty big, well, it was the biggest year, but over most every other, February. So not the big recovery like we thought we might get from, January being lower, but, in the right direction. So I think it's, things are gonna be somewhat similar to last year, maybe not quite as much, but I think it'll, every year, the last 6 months of the year are far and away far larger than the first. So I think we're getting there. So, do have two, claims. Both from VMI. One is for marketing expenses for $56,583.27. And the other for travel expenses was $2,076.66. So the big part of the marketing was the new visitors guide that, I think 40 some thousand. 41. Good bit of that. I don't know if you have any other questions for, regarding treasurer's information. I've got both the kind of the budget form and then the innkeeper tax in the back. And, so you have those for your records, and then the two claims. So, and motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Make a motion, we approve the budget, so.
The treasurer's report is presented.
Yes,
Do we have a second? All in favor?
aye.
Motion moved. Dave, you do a good job with that, man. Thank
Yes,
you.
do.
You really do. You're top 7 best treasurers I've ever been around.
Around 6.
Okay, moving on. We got, Sarah sent us some stuff regarding, BMI. Just lost my space. Andrew, you're up, big
All
boy.
right. I won't take a bunch of your time this evening. Thank you very much, for, the grant, process and funding some of the requests that we had. That's exciting, especially for those conferences that we're hosting. And we want to try and get more into those as we go.
Can I stop you real quick? Can you, oh, that's on my mind. When it's all done tonight, can you get me the gentleman's information for in and out? Okay. thank you.
Yes, I will do that. One of the claims on there, that was for travel, as Commissioner Bramer mentioned, that had to do with our Heartland, travel showcase that we went to. Lucy and I went up to that and, had I think a great experience. We learned a lot. And we've got a number of contacts with, small group tours, bus companies. Some of them are still trying to plan second part of this year, that we're gonna try and get, some trips in, still yet this year. Others are planning for 25. So, we've got, a goal of getting those, going for 25 and really hitting that hard. We've got some new, banners and tablecloths and everything to represent Madison well. The last stuff that we had, was from when we rebranded in 2012. So it was time for a refresh on that. But I thought it went really well, and we're looking forward to trying to bring that to fruition and get some more of those tours here. You talked a little bit about the innkeeper's tax collection and occupancy. I wanted to draw on the occupancy as we talk about that. It was essentially flat from last year. So Sarah joked with me that my prediction that the innkeeper's tax collections and occupancy will flatten out last year. It was just a year late. It's happening now in 2024, 2023. And actually, when we were at Indiana Tourism Conference a couple weeks ago, that was a nationwide trend. Everybody's down about 1%. So we're actually doing a little bit better than that. You know, as far as I'm watching, we're down about 0.5%. So, we're still watching it though.
Did we see a drop in ADR then, if our occupancy stayed about the same?
Actually, ADR was, so our occupancy was down slightly. ADR was up just a couple dollars, so it ended up evening out a little bit. So overall, we're down just slightly on innkeeper's tax, but like I said, kind of the higher ADR, lower occupancy. We did see, some interesting weekday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty high, even higher than some weekends, in February, which was interesting. I think some of that's business, construction travel. The hoteliers in the room might be able to say that a little bit more, but that's what I'm seeing there. Weekends were a little low, all throughout February. It's a trend to watch. So as is all of the occupancy and innkeepers. As far as placer data, we adopted a new, definition of visitor. So, I was telling you, hey, we had 600,000 people, but, 250,000 of those were from, within 35 miles and all that. We're not gonna do any more qualifying anymore. The definition is greater than 35 miles is considered a visitor. We know those people are not traveling here to get their groceries, because if you're traveling, 35 miles, you probably got a grocery store closer than that. So this leaves out the people coming across from Milton or Carrollton or something like that. So we're seeing, placer down just slightly. So year-to-date unique visitors, to Madison and Clifty Falls State Park, we're at 43,900, down from 45,800. So again, just slightly down, but it is down a little bit. Industry standard is a visitor that travels more than 50 miles from their home. We did not adopt that one because if you draw a radius 50 miles around Madison, then you're gonna get people from Louisville that would be considered a local. And that just doesn't seem to set right. I listened to an industry podcast on tourism, and they said, industry standard's 50, you always want to report those numbers, but you need to adopt what makes sense for your destination, because they know it can vary. They said out in Montana, there's people that your nearest grocery store is 70 miles. And so that would not be, it might be 100 miles.
Yeah.
So they said, you want to adapt it to your area. So, a couple other things that I wanted to note, planning for National Travel and Tourism Week. It's the week that leads up to Memorial Day weekend. So stay tuned. We'll have some exciting things as a part of that. We are working on the strategic planning process, and I know we talked a little bit about that. Our board had some changes, wanted to make some corrections and things, so I can get that all to you, and then hopefully you can take a look at it and give your stamp of approval as well. As far as marketing goes, you got Sarah's report. We are really proud of the award that we received at Indiana Tourism Conference for new merchandise, keychains, magnets, t-shirts, postcards. So we won best new merchandise in the state, and then I got to graduate from Indiana Tourism Academy, and so something on a paper that says I know something. That's just like all my other degrees. But I really appreciated the Visit Madison board encouraging me to do that. So that's most of what I've got here for you. I've already taken up too much time, but open to any questions if you have. All right, thank you.
Andrew, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on. Jess or Andrew, or Kim, or Lucy? Any Tourism Alliance Committee updates?
We'll meet on the 17th. I just sent out an email this morning about that. I think you guys might have been on it. So we're meeting on the 17th of April.
Somewhere.
Okay.
TBD now.
Perfect.
We're open to suggestions.
Good job, guys.
Are you buying?
Future meetings? April 15th. I don't know which, but I'm gonna eventually maybe April or May, tag my VP, cause I gotta drive the junior high boys baseball bus. And you helped me out last year.
I might not make it to the
Then I'll-
15th of April.
Okay,
So we've got our, all of our ops managers from the Indy area are coming down and
Okay.
doing a conference.
do you wanna bring them with you?
Dinner. Well, they probably prefer trolley ride and dinner downtown, but I'll see. I'll plead my case.
But
Bring them up the hill and say, oh, look, I gotta stop. I'll be this way.
Andrew brought one of his guys one night,
Yeah,
yeah, a couple meetings ago.
yeah.
Anyway, that's how Andrew treats them. Taking McDonald's, we'll go JCBT boy.
Let's see what we're doing.
I don't know.
It's a party.
It's a party. It's gonna be fun. Any audience? Thank you all for being here. This is, I agree with what Jim said. And this is it's a challenging board at times, but this is a fun board to be a part of, and I think we've got a really good board right now, and JCTA is doing some amazing things. And, our communities continues to improve. With that being said, make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Sure, I second it.
Second it, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting. Wendy, thank you. You're welcome.